Hey Falcons fans, if you want to stay up to date with all the news, updates and developments about our team, you're in the right place. Here you'll find everything about the Atlanta Falcons, with content made especially for our fans. So, don't waste any more time. Subscribe to the channel right now and activate the bell to receive all notifications firsthand. And, of course, leave your like to strengthen our incredible community of Falcons fans. Get ready, because we're bringing you hot and exclusive news. Now let's get to today's news. NFL source projects Kirk Cousins specific trade package involving AFC team. A year after signing a 4-year, $180 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins is already expecting to be traded. While Cousins is likely still happy with the dollar amount he signed for, Cousins has been outbid by 2024 first-round pick Michael Penix Jr., Atlanta's new franchise quarterback. So the soon-to-be 37-year-old would prefer to be traded to a situation where he would have a better chance of starting in 2025. In Atlanta, Cousins' best chance of starting would be if Penix were to suffer an injury, but that's not what anyone wants. However, Cousins could still find the starting job he's seeking. It just won't come from the Falcons. However, with a handful of teams still in the market for a new starting QB, some are now speculating on how much it would cost to trade for the 4-time Pro Bowl QB. Related, Cleveland Browns have been pursuing this QB for over a year. Cleveland Browns trading Kirk Cousins could cost them around a 4th-round pick. One team that is still in the quarterback hunt is the Cleveland Browns, who recently traded for former first-round pick Kenny Pickett. Pickett may not be their preferred starting QB, but he is nonetheless a capable backup who can make spot starts if needed. Although, when compared to Pickett, most teams would prefer to have Kirk Cousins in the starting lineup. That could include the Browns as well. Cleveland has a notable connection to Cousins, dating back to when head coach Kevin Stefanski coached him for 2 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings. On paper, the Browns make a lot of sense as a potential trade spot for Cousins. However, how much would it cost Cleveland to trade for a new veteran starting QB? Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer recently answered that very question, offering a number of different outcomes. I've heard the Falcons would like another team to pick up a good chunk of that. I'd be interested to see if Atlanta would agree to pay, say, $12.5 million of the $27.5 million Cousins is expected to receive to get a 4th-round pick. Cleveland is number 104, which is the 2nd pick on day 3 of the draft, from the Browns. If the Browns are weighing whether to add Cousins or go into the season with Pickett and a rookie not named Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders or Jackson Dart, then it might be worth paying a little more to get the veteran they so desperately want. Falcons to host explosive wide receiver Isaiah Bond for pre-draft visit. Despite widespread expectation that the Atlanta Falcons will focus primarily on bolstering their defense in the 2025 NFL Draft, the team's track record under general manager Terry Fontenot shows that the franchise is not one to follow the most predictable path. And once again, Atlanta is demonstrating that it is exploring all possibilities before making its final decisions. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Falcons have scheduled a visit with University of Texas wide receiver Isaiah Bond. A native of Georgia, Bond will participate in the team's local pro day next week, an event that allows teams to host local players for in-person tryouts and interviews. While the wide receiver position is not one of the biggest needs on the roster at this point, Atlanta has shown that it is willing to evaluate offensive talent that can complement its receiving core and give newly acquired young quarterback Kirk Cousins more weapons. Bond is considered one of the fastest prospects in this class, having clocked an impressive 4.39-second 40-yard dash at the NFL Scouting Combine. Despite a statistically less impressive 2024 season, he caught 34 passes for 540 yards and 5 touchdowns. Bond continues to be viewed as a vertical threat and potential playmaker. Projected to go in the mid to late 2020 draft, he is currently ranked as the 109th best overall prospect by Pro Football Focus, PFF. Bond's world-class speed will be coveted, potentially landing him a top 50 pick, PFF said. But he still needs to develop as a complete receiver, not just a speedster, to secure a consistent role on the field beyond vertical routes. The Falcons' receiving core already features solid names like Drake London and newly signed Darnell Mooney, as well as versatile Ray McCloud, who primarily plays in the slot. Still, adding an explosive piece like Bond who can play both inside and outside would bring a new dimension to the offense and help open up more space for the established playmakers. Despite the interest in Bond, the most likely scenario is that Atlanta will focus its efforts primarily on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the first round. The Falcons have the 15th overall pick in the draft and only 5 total selections, including 2 compensatory picks in the 7th round, which makes each pick even more strategic.